Did you guys see AJ McKee? This was impressive. What AJ McKee went out and did was impressive. First off, he entered a tournament. He's very young. I don't know his age. He's roughly 24 years old off the top of my head. He's a second-generation guy where his pops is a badass. I'm right. It's a lot like Floyd Mayweather. When you wake up and you got a coach and he lives across the hall and you call him dad, you got a leg up. Now, dad's got to do everything just right or you're going to sour that relationship. Dad needs to be dad and coach needs to be coach. But the McKees seemed to find a way to navigate this, and McKee was built in. He was built in on day one, preparing to be a world champion. He gets into Bellator a little bit young. He comes in with a huge reputation. I talked to guys, Aaron Pico comes to mind, but I talked to guys who were in the room and trained with McKee, and they all said, man, this guy's the real deal. So he then gets thrown into a tournament, and he's doing great, but I've seen rolls in MMA before. I've seen where a guy gets on a roll. And he has 2 or 3 stoppages, all in the first minute of the first round. It never really ends well for those guys because they start to get used to it. They start becoming inexperienced through their experience. You look back and it's been a year and they've been in there less than a minute. That's not a great thing, right? It's one of these things where they get caught up with, historically speaking. But McKee gets thrown into a tournament where now it's not about promotion. It's not about propaganda. There's a competitive architecture in the form of a straight line 8-man bracket, and you are going to stand or fall on your skills. Okay. Walks through the tournament, stops everybody, and does it in various ways. Whether it was submitting Caldwell or knocking out Pitbull, and don't think you have to tell me that he got a guillotine on, that he knocked him out before the guillotine, right? We all saw what happened. McKee then goes to a press conference, and he starts talking about his contract situation with Bellator and that he would like to see what he's worth on open agency, and that he would like to fight guys from other promotions. Now, this is where youth sets in. McKee's got a right to get one wrong. He's young enough. He's got the right to get 2 or 3 wrong. He really does. Every fighter wants to talk selfishly about what is best for them. And that is the only thing they'll talk about. And they forget that there has to be somebody else who also has a them involved, right? Every camera that a guy talks to, that camera has a name. Every microphone they speak into, that microphone has a name. Somebody put it there. Somebody set this up. And the same thing goes to your promoter. As much as you want to talk about, you want to do the biggest fights, the promoter wants to put on and host the biggest fights. And one doesn't happen without the other. And as soon as you get a press conference and you've got a little bit of stroke and you use that stroke to talk about leaving your promoter, do you see where it becomes a problem? And there's some guys that can do it for a short period. Look, if you want to go through this business and you want to stand purely on your skills, good for you. I wish you the best. I'll guarantee you one thing, and it won't be a championship. It won't be a main event. I'll guarantee you one thing. You're going to have a goddamn short career. That's what I can promise you. If you want your punches and kicks and takedowns in defense to stand on their own against somebody else punches and kicks and takedowns, and that's all you want your career to be about, good luck. It's going to be damn short. You need people's help. People will help those loyal to them. You come out to a press conference and you talk about, I want to see what I'm worth, and you act as though you're a whore and you're going to the highest bidder, you're going to be treated like a whore that goes to the highest bidder. And it might work and you might like that bid. But time will go by extremely quickly and then you will be a man without a country. It's a very tough game. And anytime you choose to negotiate publicly, you are going to get rebuked in public. You guys might remember, but Strikeforce, UFC. And guys would become free agents and it was going back and forth. Remember when that volley was going back and forth and it was working? The best way to handle that is you cut the guy right then. You find out a guy's talking to the other side or he does any hint, including in the media, that he wants to talk to the other side, you release him right then. There's no negotiation. There's no back and forth, but you're going to go where you want to go. No hard feelings. I don't want to date the person that doesn't want to date me back. Go. I experienced this in college, 1994. I was getting recruited by the University of Oregon, getting recruited by Oregon State University. So University of Oregon went first, so I told Oregon State what the offer is, meaning you're going to have to beat this, let's talk. And they said, no, we're not. In fact, Not only are we not going to do that, we're not ever going to give you an offer at all until you give us a commitment. I was only 18 years old, but I was highly confused. So explain that to me. They said, we only want people here that want to be here. That's it. And we only want you here if you feel that this program is what can get you the furthest within your wrestling career. So if you're going somewhere for money, we can't even tell you what the money is. We like you, we respect you. You might like the number, you might not, but we need a commitment first. We need to know that this is where you want to be because you feel you can reach your goals best here. If you're just going for money, go somewhere else. That was a very weird concept. I did go somewhere else. I didn't like it at all. I didn't like the concept at all. I didn't like the attitude of Oregon State. As I became an adult and I look back, I can see why Oregon State won more matches than we did. And I went to Oregon. I can see why they won more matches. I now see the philosophy, and they continued that on. That was long after me. I went into coaching and had a kid who was a blue chipper, could have got a full ride anywhere. They played the same game with him. He had to commit and say, I want to go here. They then get to the table and said, okay, good news. We have a full ride for you. So they were very fair, but this is the way that they went about it, and this is the way that they did things. And if you want to be a fighter who doesn't understand there's politics involved, doesn't understand the one lesson that they never teach in school, which is it never hurts to be liked, and you want to stand alone on your punches and kicks and nothing else, best of luck. I can only promise you one thing. You're going to have a very short career.